In this video, I'm going to go through on Chun Public School Preliminary Examination 2024 Mathematics Paper 2. So let's get started on the first question. So CED and GEH are straight lines. So CED and GEH are straight lines. CEH is 126 degrees. Find DEF. Okay. So in this case over here, we know that CEH over here, right? Vertically opposite angles, right? So in this case, we can write down angle, angle uh, CEH is equal to angle GED, angle GED, which is equal to 126 degrees. So this is what we call vertically opposite angles, right? Right. So now we know that this is 126. Okay. So if I were to draw a line, in this case over here, whoops. Right. Let me just make this black. Right. So I draw a line. In this case over here. Okay. I'm going to make it red. Oh, okay. The paper is a bit. Okay. So 126 is also this as well. So I'm just going to draw right here and then put here as 126 degrees as well. Okay, so now we know that it's 126, then we can get angle DEF, which is equal to 126. Okay, and then minus the right angle 90, which is equal to 36 degrees. Okay, there you go. The answer is 36 degrees. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, question 2. So in the television guide shown below, one program leads to another without any break in between. Okay, so part A, Ming turned on the television at 11 a.m. Which program was being shown then? So 11 a.m. So 11 a.m. is around here, right? So let me draw the lines. Right, so 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Right, it's roughly around this timing. So should be around this timing, right? So that means this is news, right? So news is from 10:10 to 11:40. Okay, in this case over here, so the answer is news. News. Okay, let's move on to part B. How long did the sports program last? Okay, so we know that the sports program is 11:40 and it ends at 12:30. Okay, so that means sports is from 11:40 to 12:30. So 11:40 to 12:00 is equal to 20 minutes, and then 12:00 to 12:30 is equal to 30 minutes. So total, okay, in this case will be 20 plus 30 equal to 50 minutes. Okay, there you go. That's your answer, which is 50 minutes. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. Okay, so a tank was 5/7 filled with water at 1100 hours. 5/7 fill is 120 liters. The line graph shows the volume of water left in the tank over a period of 2 hours. So from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. or 1500 hours. At the end of 2 hours, what fraction of the tank was filled with water? Okay, so give your answer in the simplest form. Okay, so we know that 5/7 water, okay, is basically filled with water at this, which is 120 liters. All right, so all is the same as 120 liters is basically equal to 5/7 of water in this case over here. So at the end of 2 hours, how many is this? So number of gaps here, right? We have one and two gaps. So that means two gaps, right? Two gaps is equal to 20, and then one gap is equal to 20 divided by 2. This will give us 10. And then for that 1500, okay, if I draw a red line just to make it easier, it's a middle between 20 and 30, so that 20 and 40, so that means this is 30. Okay, so at the end there's 30 liters, so we'll just write here okay, 30 liters is equal to 5 over 7 divided by 4, right? So 120 to 30 is 4. So you divide by 4, which is basically 5 over 7 times 1 over 4. Okay, and what will this give us? 5 over 28. Okay, of water is filled. So that means 5 over 28 is the answer. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. Okay, question number 4 says the pamphlet below shows the rent charges of a function room. So you have small, medium, and large. So with individual pricing. Jason and 4 of his friends rented a medium room. So let's see the medium room from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so how much did each of them have to pay? Okay, so let's concentrate on the medium room. Let's make it red so it's easier to see. Okay, so medium room over here. Okay, so happy hours is 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. So that means from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., right, is which is happy hours, which is in this case over here is basically $14. Okay, right, times 3. So 5 p.m. Sorry, 5 p.m. to 7 is not 3, it's 2 hours. Okay, and this will give you $28. Right. Then after that from 7 to 8, okay, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is your peak hours. So that means it's just 1 hour, right? Times 1 hour. This is $19. So the total is 19. So total will be 28 plus 19. This will give us our 47, right? Let me just double check with my calculator. So 28 plus 19 is equal to 47. Okay, so $47. So each of them have to pay basically Jason and 4 friends. So total friends is equal to 5. Okay, so that means 47. All right, divided by 5, and this will give us divided by 5, $9.40. Okay, there you go. So that's your answer, 940. All right, let's move on to question number 5. Okay, so a group of 5 boys booked the badminton court for 3 hours and took turns to play. At any time, there were 4 boys playing on the court. On average, how long did each boy play on the court? Leave your answer in minutes. So in any case, we can just say, right, total hours for all 4 boys. So one boy will then play 3 hours. Okay, then 4 boys is equal to 3 times 4, which is 12 hours, right? Okay, so 12 hours. So that means average is equal to 12 divided by 5. Okay, so this is equal to, so let's have 12 divided by 5, which is 2.4 hours each, right? So then 2.4 hours into minutes equal to 2.4, right, times 60, and this will give us, so let's do that, multiply by 60, this will give us 144 minutes. There you go. So on average, one boy will play 144 minutes. Okay, let's move to the next question, question number 6. Right, so it says here triangle ABC and ECD are equilateral triangle. So ABC, this, oops, just draw a line. ABC, right, is equilateral, and ECD, this one, and also this one as well. Okay, so BCD and AGD and BGE, BCD, AGD, and BGE are all straight lines, right? So this one, and this one. So BDA, right? BDA is 36, and DAC. So DAC is equal to DBE. So DAC is equal to DBE. All right. So find M. So let me just say, let me just highlight DAC is equal to DBE in this case over here. Okay. Find M. All right, so what we needed to do is we need to get DBE. So we get this red line over here, and then also we can get M lah, right? By just having 180 minus 36 minus this angle, and then we get M. Okay, so first things first is that we need to know what this basically this angle over here, right? Then once we get this angle, then we can get this angle. Okay, so first thing first is we let me just create another line so we don't confuse ourselves. Okay, whoops. This will be right. So equilateral triangle, they are not both the same. They're equilateral, but they're not the same length over here. So don't confuse them. Okay, so now we just need to get this part. Okay, so this, let me put this in green. So we need to get this, what do you call this? This angle over here. All right, so first thing is, since we know this is an equilateral triangle, right? So we actually can get this angle, right? Because this whole triangle is an equilateral triangle, right? So in this case, let me just draw purple like this, right? So one, right, two, and then three. So this is an equilateral triangle, right? So over here, let me just draw like this. Okay, so with that said, this is 60 degrees. Okay, so 60 and then degrees over here. Okay, so let us just write down. So angle ACB is equal to 60 degrees. This is angle in equilateral triangle. Okay, so then once we know this is 60, the next part is we can get the angle ACD, right? So let me just copy this, right? AC, and then we have the D, right? So ACD is equal to 180 minus 60, right? Okay, and in this case over here, this will then become 120. Okay, so this angle 120 degrees is green. All right, so let me just make this green, right? So now we know this 120. Then the next one is, since this whole thing over here, let me also use this line, right, to draw this out. Okay, it's 120 and 36. Then we can get the red one over here. So angle DAC is equal to 180 minus 120 minus 36, right? Which is basically 60, right? So 180 minus 120 minus 36, and this will give us 24 degrees. 24 degrees, right? So since it's 24 degrees in this red part over here, right? That means this is 24 degrees as well. So I'm going to write here DAC, right, is equal to DBE. DAC is equal to DBE, which is also equal to 24 degrees. Then, oops. And then the last part is we can get M since the angle, the triangle. Let me use another one, which is maybe green color as well, right? So this whole thing over here, or maybe red lah, right? It can be large. So this whole thing, right? And then we can, this is the another triangle that we want. Okay, so with that said, we can get angle M, which is equal to 180 minus 36 minus 24. Okay, let's calculate this. Should be 120. 180 minus 36 minus 24. This will be 120 degrees. There you go. So that's the answer. 120 degrees. Oops, what is that big? All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question, what's this? What's the next question? Question 7. Yes. Okay, it says here ABCD is a rhombus. So ABCD is a rhombus. So I'm gonna draw the line. This, 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 and this. Right. So ABC is a rhombus, and ABEF is a trapezium. Right. So AB is parallel to BF. AB is parallel to BF. So AB is parallel to EF. That means AB is also parallel to DC, and this is also parallel to this one also as a rhombus. Okay, so CBG, which is this one, CBG is 29 degrees, and then BFE is 66 degrees. BDF is a straight line. Okay, let me just draw a straight line over here. All right, so find this one. At BEF, which is over here. All right, so to find BEF, if you're able to find this green color one, which is this side over here, then we are able to get BEF, which is in this case over here. All right, so with that, how do we get this green color angle? If we can get one of the angle, right, like this, then we are able to get what do you call this, the other side as well. That's what I see over here. Okay. All right, so over here, if you see properly, right, we have two parallel lines, right? DC and FE, right? So AB, right, is parallel to FE. So that means the opposite of the rhombus, right, is also this. Okay, so let me just write this down. Right, DF, yeah, DFGE, okay, in black, is a trapezium, right? Okay, since DG is parallel to FE, in this case over here. So it says here AB is parallel to EF, okay? EF. So if AB is parallel to DG and DG, AB is parallel to EF, that means DG is parallel to EF. So DG, okay, right, there you go. Right, so now with that said, we know that the trapezium over here, I'm going to draw a line to highlight this so that's easier to see. So DG, right, to GE to EF to FD over here is a trapezium. So the next thing is we can get the angles. Right, let me okay, so we will say angle FDG is equal to 180 minus 66, and this is equal to 114 if I'm not wrong. So let's use our calculator. 180 minus 66, this will be 114 degrees. Okay, so this over here, right, is 114 degrees. So since we know this is 114, then we can know, well, let me just move this. We can know this angle over here. So let me just put this as 114. Right, this over here. Okay, then we can know this angle. Let me use a light blue, this one, right? So this blue angle, or make a different color actually. Okay, so we'll get this angle BDC, right? So angle BDC is equal to 180 minus 114. I think you know the answer is 66 degrees. Okay, pretty straightforward. So 66 degrees, right, is this. So that means this thing over here is also 66 degrees. Right, so now since we know this both is 66 degrees, we can get the green angle. So the green angle, so is green is FBE, right? FBE is equal to 66 minus 29, and that's equal to 37, right? Double check. 66 minus 29, 37 degrees. Then now we know that the green one is 37 degrees. So this green one is 37 degrees here. Now just put here say 6 degrees. So now we can get the angle with the triangle, right? As you can see, BEF. So angle BEF is equal to 180 minus 37 minus 66, which is equal to, so let's calculate, 180 minus 37 minus 66. This is equal to 77 degrees. There you go. So that's the answer, 77 degrees. Alrighty, let's move on to the next question. Alright, question 8 says a ruler costs m cents and a pen costs 70 cents more than a ruler. What is the cost of one pen and two rulers in cents? Express your answer in terms of m in its simplest form. Okay, so we know that a ruler costs m, okay, and then cents, wait, cents, right? And then a pen costs 70 70 cents more than a ruler, so you can put m plus 70, and then we can put a bracket cents as well. Okay, so now what is the cost of uh one pen and two rulers? Okay, so one pen plus two rulers is equal to, so one pen is m plus 70 plus 2 times m, so that means it's equal to 3m plus 70. Okay, and then we can bracket as well, bracket, and then we can put the cents at the end as well. Okay, so there you go. So answer in m in the simplest form, this is the answer, 3m plus 70 cents. Okay, let's move on to part B. So part B says Xingmin wants to buy one pen and two rulers but is short of 15 cents. The ruler costs 80 cents. How much money does Xingmin have? Okay, so from what we gathered here, so let me just copy this first. Okay, so the ruler is 80 cents. Okay, so that means ruler, so m is equal to 80 then cents, right? So ruler is 8, so now we can say want to buy one pen and two rulers. Is it the same? One pen, two rulers. So that means this is in this, I will just copy the whole thing, right? One pen plus two rulers. Okay, so let's see what's the cost. So m is 80 cents. So one pen and two rulers is equal to 3m plus 70. So which is in this case 3, yeah, 3 times 80 plus 70. So with that, this will then become, so what's 3 times 80? 240 plus 70 is 310. 10. So if you were to use your calculator, 3 times 80 plus 70. Okay, this will be 330 cents. Okay. So the thing is that Simin was short. So Sin Min money is equal to the 10 minus 15. So short of 15 cents means minus 15 cents, right? Cents. Okay, so with this 310 minus 15, this should be 295 cents. Okay, you can put cents, you can put dollars for your final answer. It says money unless it says expressed in dollars, right? So 310 minus 15, this is 295. So you can put 295 cents. That works as well. Okay, so you can put $295 also can, right? In this case over here. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, next question is question 9. Okay, so tank A and tank B were two rectangular tanks. Tank A contains some water and tank B is empty. When some water is poured from tank A to tank B, the height of the water in tank A decreases by 5 centimeters while the height of the tank B increases by 8 centimeters. The base area of tank A is 15 centimeters greater than the base area of tank B. What is the volume of water that is poured from tank A into tank B? Alright, so for this, what we can do is we can say let's tank A base area be A, right? Be A, and let tank B base area be B, right? So over here it says, if we go to zoom it in, it says here tank A base area is 15 centimeter greater than tank B, right? In this case. So what we can do is we can say, let me just highlight a bit so it's easier to see. The base area of tank A is 15 centimeter greater than tank B, right? So that means A is equal to B plus 15. Okay, pretty straightforward, right? Centimeter square, or just put 15 over here. All right, so highlight this. Okay, this will be very important. Okay, next one. So now the next thing is we will say water in tank A. Let me put this blue. Water in tank A decreased by 5 centimeter when water is poured. So water poured uh, out of tank A is equal to base area times height. Okay, so water poured out of tank A is by 5 centimeter. So base area is A times height. So 5 centimeter decrease, so it's just 5, which is equal to basically just 5A. Right, and then the next one is, so this is, I'm gonna highlight this, water poured out of tank A, and then let's do another one, green one, which is tank B, right, increased by 8 centimeters. So water poured into tank B is equal to base area times height again as well, right, in this case, which is equal to, so what's base area for B is B, and then times, so this is 8 centimeters. Okay, so we just put 8, this will become 8B, right? And then let me just highlight as well, right? Okay, water poured out. Let me highlight it. Okay, so now we know that, okay, for this water poured out of tank A, right? Okay, I'm just gonna write here is equal to water poured into tank B, right? Makes sense, right? Okay, so I'm just gonna put here like this, right? So that means we will just equals, all right? So 5A is equal to 8B, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay, then now it's just putting in. So 5 times bracket B plus 15 is equal to 8B. So we are going to put the B as B. So that means this will become 5B plus 15 times 5, right? So we can use the calculator to see what's 15 times 5. It's 75, right? And this will become 8B, right? So 8B, or yeah, 8B minus 5B go to 75. So this will then become Bumblebee. No, 3B is equal to 75. 1B is equal to 75 divided by 3. And this will give you 25. Double check. Divided by 3, this will be 25. Okay, so now we know what is 1B. So we want to get the volume of water that's poured from tank A into tank B. So water poured out of tank A to tank B. Either way, I think you can just calculate it using, so I'm just gonna write this again. Water poured out is equal to water poured into tank B, which will then be equal to, wait, 8 times 25, which in this case is, so we multiply this by 8, 200 centimeter cube. There you go. That's the answer. 200 centimeter cube. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 10. So, at a camp, there is an equal number of boys and girls. The children are grouped into Group A and Group B. In Group A, the ratio of number of boys to number of girls is 1 is to 3. In Group B, the ratio of number of boys to number of girls is 5 is to 2. What's the ratio number of children in Group A to the number of children in Group B? Right. So let's go for, okay, Group A has boys is to girls. And since there's an equal number of boys, that means there's equal number of difference as well. Okay, so boys is to girls is 1 is to 3, and the difference is 2 over here. So I'm just gonna do this. Right, so that's group A. And then for group B, right, is the same as well. So group B, but this time the boys will be 5 and the girls will be 2. The difference is 3. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write down, say that whoa, um, must make difference the same by getting lowest lowest common multiple of 3 and 2, which is 6 over here, right? So let me just make it small like this. So in this case, right, we need to then just multiply this uh by each other. Okay, so this we multiply by 3. Okay, then we do this for everything else, 3. So this one we multiply by 2. Okay, so difference is 6 in both group A and B, right? So times 2 times 2 and then times 2 as well. So this will then become 6 for the difference. And then times 3 is 9. This will be 3. And then for the boys for group B over here, this will then, let me just make this a bit higher. This will then become 10, 10, 4, and then 6. Right, so what's the group of number of children to group A and group B? So let's do one line over here. Okay, so that means the total. Okay, so A is to B, which is basically 3 plus 9 is to 10 plus 4. Okay, this medium, right? So then we will just plus them together, which is equal to 12 is to 14, which is also divided by 4, which is 3. No, cannot. So it's just 6 is to 7. All right, there you go. So the answer is 6 is to 7. Okay. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Part B. There are a total of 2,574 children at Camp B. How many boys are there in Group B? So total units is equal to 6 plus 7 is equal to 13 units. So 13 units is equal to 2,574. Then so boys in group B. So boys in group B is equal to 10 units. Say no. No. So we don't do 6 plus 7 anymore. We do 6 plus 12 plus 14. Okay, equal to 24 units. So boys in group B is 10 units. So 24 units. Sorry, 26. Hang at 26 units. Yes. Is equal to 2,574. 10 units is equal to 2,574. Okay. Oops. Divided by 26 and then times 10 equal. So let's use our calculator. 2,574. Cancel. 2,574 divided by 26 times 10. 990. 990. There you go. So the answer for this is 990. All right, that's it. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question 11. So it says here a musical store offered 80 pianos at a 25% discount during a 5-day sale. The line graph shows the number of pianos left unsold at the end of each day. So what percentage was sold in the first 2 days? Start of sale, first day 1 and day 2. So for let's get day 2, but first we need to get the number of gaps. So we have 1, oops, okay, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so in this case over here, we'll just say, right, uh, 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 5 gaps is equal to 20. First number is 20. 1 gap is equal to 20 divided by 5. This will give us 4. Okay, so day 2 over here, let's use the red line. Day 2 is at 44. 44. Okay, so that means what percentage was sold? Number of sold. So uh, pianos left at day 2, which is equal to 44. So pianos sold in after after sold at first 2 days, which is equal to 80 minus 44. Okay, because we have 80 at first, right? And what this is equal to 36, right? So double confirm, 80 minus 44 is 36, right? So we know that's 36. So percentage of pianos sold in first 2 days, okay, is equal to 36 out of 80 times 100%, which is equal to, right, 36 divided by 80 times 100, 45%. So 45%. So the answer is 45%. Okay, there you go. All right, let's move on to the next question. Part B. During the sale, the discounted price of a piano was $735. After the sale, the remaining pianos were sold without discount. What was the total amount of money collected from selling all the 80 pianos? So if you were to go to day 5 over here, so let me just make this another color, light blue, right? So day 5 over here is sold. So how many we are left? So 2 gaps will be 8, right? So this will be 8. Okay, so at day 5, 8 pianos left. So that means we sold at discount 80 minus 8, which equal to 72 pianos, right? 72 pianos sold at discount. So pianos sold at discount, which is 72, right? So the discounted price was $735. Okay, so the pianos total collected from discounted pianos is equal to 72 times 735. Use our calculator. 72 times 735. This is equal to $52,920. Okay, so now we sold the remaining without the discount. So that means if we were selling at 25% discount, so discount is equal to 25%. So that means so price after discount is equal to 100 minus 25% is equal to 75%. So that means 75% was 735. So 100% is equal to 735 divided by 75 times 100. Okay, so 735 divided by 75 times 100. This will give us dollars 980. Okay, so 100% is original price. Let me bracket this original price. So total collected. Let me just draw another line. Okay, over here. So total collected from what is this? From no discount pianos, which is basically 8 times 980, which is equal to multiply by 8, $7,840. So total collected is equal to 52,920, okay, plus 7,840. Okay, so let me just do this. Right, 52 plus 7840, $60,760. All right, that is a lot of money on here. There we go. So that's the answer. So $60,760. 60. Yep. Let's move. Okay, so that's it. Let's move on to the next question. Question 12. The pie chart shows the different types of fruit sold at a stall last month. The shop sold 800 fruits in total. So half of the fruits sold were oranges. Let me put here half, right? And then the shop sold 40 more apples than pears. How many durians did the shop sell? So the durians is basically durians is equal to 17% times total, which is 800. Okay, so let's do that. So 800 times 17%, this will give us 136. Okay, so that's the answer, 136 for part A. Part B, what percentage of the fruits sold last month were pears? Okay, so we know half is oranges, so I'm gonna write uh, fruits that are not oranges. Okay, is basically 800 times half, not 8,000 times half, right? And this will become 400. Okay, so pears and apples, pears plus apples is equal to 400 minus 136. Okay, and let's use the calculator. 400 minus 136, this is 264. Right, so pears plus apple is 264. We know the shop sold 40 more apples than pears, so that means apples is equal to pears plus 40. Okay, so shop sold 40 more apples than pears. Okay, so in this case over here, whoops, apples equal to pears plus 40. So if you were to put apples equal to pears plus 40, is basically just, if you were to write this down, it looks something like this, right? You have apples, you have pears, and then apples is basically 40 plus more, right? So I'm gonna write here apples and then pears. That's what you see over here. Let me just put another space. So apples and pears are like this. Okay, so from here I can just draw another line. So you want pears, so pears is equal to 264 minus 40, and then we divide it by 2. Okay, product simple. Okay, so let's do that. So minus 40, then 2 to 4 divided by 2, this will be 112. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, so there you go. The answer is 112. Okay, so what percentage? Okay, sorry. forgot the thing. So what percentage of fruit sold were pears? So percentage that are pears, let me just put here, percentage that are pears is equal to 112 divided by 800, which is the total, and then times 100%, right? Okay, which is equal to, so let's use our calculator, 112 divided by 800 and then times 100. Okay, this is 14%. There you go. So that's the answer, 14%. All right, let's move on to the next question. All right, so question 13. So in the figure below, ABCD is a parallelogram. So ABCD is a parallelogram. So I'm going to draw some lines. Okay, so ABCD is a parallelogram. So like this and then do like this. Okay, so at the same time, E is at a point on AB and EDF. So E is this AAB and EDF. Oh wow, okay, it's a straight line. I didn't know it was a straight line. So I'm gonna create this as a straight line. Okay, this is a straight line. Okay, so BAD. So BAD is 137. EDA is 18 degrees and DCF is 15 degrees. Okay, find BED. So at BED, right? So we can get this green angle, then we will just have minus the straight line lah. Okay, so with that, let's do this. So angle, okay, DEA is equal to 180 minus 137 minus 18, and this is equal to, use the calculator, right? So 180 minus 137 minus 18. Whoops. Okay, this will give us 25 degrees. 25 degrees. Okay, so over here, then we want once we know this is 25, so let me just put here as 25 in green color, right? Then we can get BEA. So sorry, BED. So angle, let me just put here. So angle BED is equal to 180 minus 25, and this will be equal to, so 180 minus 25, 155, for 155 degrees. All right, there you go. That's the answer, 155 degrees. All right, let's move on to the next question, or part B, find CFD. Okay, so where's CFD? CFD is this thing over here. Okay, so let me just make it into a red one so we know what is this. All right, so how do we get this? So we know that we have a straight line over here, and I want to write here 155 degrees. Okay, um, so we know that this is a straight line. So if we can get this angle, let me put it blue. If we can get this angle, then we can minus 15, right? Minus 15, we get this. And then if we can get this angle, right, then we can get the blue angle. And then, yeah. So let's get this purple angle. So how do you think we can get the purple angle? All right. So over here, since this is a parallelogram, we can get 137 minus 180 to get this total angle. So which is, what color should I use? Gray, black, green again? Yeah, light orange. So let's get this big angle over here. Okay. So this big angle is CDA. So angle, right? CDA. So we want to find CEF. So angle. Okay, CDA basically is equal to 180, right? Minus 137. Okay, let's get, what is that? 180 minus 137 is equal to 43 degrees. Okay, 43 degrees. Right, so this this pink angle is 43 degrees. Okay, so now we can get the purple angle. So the purple angle will be CDE. Angle CDE. CDE is equal to 43 minus 18, and this will be 25. Okay, let's double check. 43 minus 18 is equal to 25 degrees. All right, so now we know that the purple angle is 25 degrees. Okay, so purple is 25. Can put 43 here, put 25 here. So now, since this is a straight line, we can get the blue. The blue is CDF, blue angle. So angle CDF is equal to 180 minus 25, which is equal to 155. So 180 minus 25, this is 155. So 155 degrees. Okay. So now we know the blue angle over here is 155 degrees. So since CFD is a triangle, so we can get angle CFD, right? CFD, which is the right angle, which is 180 minus 155 minus 25. Okay, and this will be equal to 10, right? So 180 minus 155 minus 25. Okay, and this will become, no, 15, sorry. Cancel everything. 180 minus 155 minus 15. This will give us 10 degrees. There you go. That's the answer. 10 degrees. So CFD is 10 degrees. So, yep, that's it. Alrighty. Okay, let's move on to the next question. All right, question 14. Jill had a roll of lace. He used 4/7 of the lace to make 15 similar blouses and 7 similar skirts. The length of the lace used for 5 blouses was the same as the length of the lace used for 3 skirts. How many skirts can he make with the same length of lace used for 15 similar blouses? Okay, so we know that for part A, 5 blouses, right? So B let B be blouses, and let S be skirts. So we know that 5 blouses can make 3 skirts. So 15 blouses is equal to 15 divided by 5, which is 3 times 3. Let's make some space. And this is equal to 9S, or 9 skirts. Okay, so 9. All right, let's move on to the next question. Okay, what is the greatest number of skirts he can make with 5/6 of the remaining of the lace? Okay, so we know that 4/7 of the lace to make 15 similar blouses. Right, so 4/7 lace used. Okay, so that means 5/6. Let's 4/7. Yeah, so what is so remaining, sorry, okay, remaining thing is equal to 1 minus 4 out of 7, which is equal to 3 out of 7. Okay, so lace used is 4 out of 7. Okay, and then 4 out of 7. Sorry, so let's have what do you call this, let's have, because he can make 5/6 of the remaining, we are left with that. So I'm just gonna make this 3 out of 7 or equal to 6 out of 14. So I'm gonna write a little note. We make 3, 7 to 6, 14. So easier to calculate. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a little bit small. We make this so easier to calculate. So that means convert fractions to units. So that means remaining is equal to 6 units. All right. So and so 4/7 is equal to 8/14. Okay, so lace used. So remaining is that lace used is equal to 8 units. And then we have total, which is equal to 14 units. Okay, pretty straightforward. Nothing new. Okay, so remaining, he can make with 5/6 of the remaining lace, right? So basically he used 4 out of 7 to make 15 similar blouses and 7 similar skirts. So lace used, so 8 units can create 15 similar blouses, 15 blouses plus 7 skirts. So 7 skirts. Oops, S. Okay, and then what he wants is 5 6. So uh uh want to use is 5 over 6 times 6 units is equal to 5 units. Okay, that's why I converted. Okay, anyway, so now he wants to use 5 units and he wants to make the greatest number of skirts. So we can convert this, right? So we know 5 blouses equal to 3 skirts as well, right? So 5 blouses equal to 3 skirts. So I'm going to put it here as well. 5 blouses equal to 3 skirts. So 8 units is 5 blouses plus 7 skirts. So that means it's also equal to, so we know 15 blouses is 9. So okay, 15 blouses is 9. Okay, give me this. 15 blouses is 9 skirts. So that means it's 9s plus 7s becomes a 16s. All right, 16 skirts. All right, so 8 units is 16 skirts. So 5 units equal to, um, so we divide by 8. So 16 divided by 8 times 5. This will give 10 skirts, if I'm not wrong. Let's double check. So, so yeah, 16 divided by 8 times 5 is equal to 10 skirts. So therefore the answer is 10 skirts. Right, 10 skirts. There you go. That's the answer. 10 skirts. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 15. So figure X and figure Y below is made out of identical right angle triangles. What's your view? The perimeter of X is 46 centimeter. The perimeter of figure Y is 96 centimeter. The length of AB, this one over here, is 17 centimeters. 17 centimeters. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what is the length of CD? That's what I see over here. Okay, so for AB over here is the diagonal one, right? Which is basically this whole thing. So let me just make all of this red so it's easier to see, right? So 70 centimeters, all of this. Okay, then CD, right? CD, let me just make another one which is green or blue, right? So CD over here, I'm gonna draw like this. So CD is also here as well, CD, and then it's also here as well, CD, and it's also here as well. Right. So okay, so basically figure y is equal to, maybe not 7, figure y is equal to 4ab plus 4cd. So figure y is 96 equal to 4ab is 4 times 17 plus 4cd, right? Just 4cd lah. Okay, so that means 4 times 17 is what? 4 times 17, which is 68. Okay, which is equal to 68 plus 4CD. So we will, so 4CD is equal to 96 minus 68, which is equal to 96 minus 68, 28. And then what CD is equal to 28 divided by 4, which is equal to 7. There you go. So the answer is 7 centimeters. Oops. Okay, so what is the area of one of the right angle triangle? All right, so we know that we just need to get basically the length and breadth, right? Length and not this, but breadth, right? Okay, so if we were to, let me just also use different colors again. I will draw the line. Okay, maybe this purple instead. So we already added purple. Pink. Wait. I want pink. right? So this, the length, and then the breadth is green. Okay, so you'll see that the breadth is over here, right? This is the breadth. Okay, this is the breadth. Okay, and then let me just make it a little bit smaller, and this is the length. Okay, which is this whole thing, right? So let me make this uh just single lines instead. Right, so you see the length and breadth over here. So, and then we have the length over here as well, which is, let's make it a little bit smaller. So length and breadth, and then we also know the difference, which is 7 centimeters in this case over here, which is purple, right? So then what we can do is we can create a algebra formula lah, right? So that means for the breadth, so let B be breadth in this case. So that means length is equal to B plus 7. Okay, so in this case over here, B plus 7. So, and then breadth is just B lah. Okay, B, just B. So breadth is B, length is B. Wait, just breadth. Okay, so over here, that means length is equal to B plus 7. That's what we see over here, right? This case. So length equal to B plus 7, and we can convert, right? So this is length, right? And B is breadth. Okay, pretty straightforward like this. Okay, so let me make this purple, purple, green, and green. Okay, so it's in sync, it's easier to see. So that means we know that the parameter of figure X is 46. So it's just 46 equal to B plus 7 plus B, and then we just times 2 lah, right? Because it's just times 2. Okay, just times 2, bracket, and then times 2. Okay, and then this will then just become, right, 46 equal to 2B plus 7. 2B plus 7. 2B plus 7 times 2, and then they also then become, if we times 2, it will be 4B plus 14. Okay, I just want to double check. Okay, 4B plus 14. So 4B is equal to 46 minus 14. Okay, and what's that? So 46 minus 14, this will become 32. All right, and then 1B or B, the breadth, is equal to 32 divided by 4. This will become 8. All right, so now we know the breadth is 8 and the length is, what do you call this? So we know we did. So length is equal to 8 plus 7, and this is equal to 15. So, right, so now we know the length, right? And we also know the breadth as well. So part B says what is the area of the one right angle triangle. Okay, so area of triangle is equal to half times base times height. So the base is basically just the length itself, which is half times 15 times height is 8. And this I think will give us 60. Okay, so zero point 0.5 times 15 times 8. Okay, and this will give us 60 centimeter square. Okay, there you go. So that's the answer. 60 centimeter square. All right. Let's move on to the next question. Question 16. So question 16 says Joseph has some red, blue, and orange beads. 28% of the beads are blue. There are 25 more blue beads than orange beads. There were 289 red beads. So how many blue beads are there all together? Okay, so Let's write this down. Blue is equal to 28%. Then orange. So since it says there are 25 more blue beads than orange beads, it's basically blue minus 25, which is equal to 28 percent minus 25. Okay. So what about red? So red is basically 100 100% minus, right, bracket 28% plus 28% minus 25. So in this case, let me just make this into a new line. Okay, so this will then be equal to 100% minus 28 plus 28. So 28 plus 28 is 56, right? 56%. So anything negative becomes positive, right? So this will be plus 25. Okay, and this will then become what's 100 minus 56, which is equal to 44. So 44% plus 25. Okay, so now with that said, we know that rate is 289. So 44% plus 25 equal to 289. So 44% is equal to 289 minus 25. Okay, and this will equal to, so 289 minus 285 is equal to 264. Okay, then we know how many is the blue bits is 20%. So we just want to add 28%, which is equal to 264 divided by 44 times 28. Okay, so divided by 44 times 28, this is equal to 168. Okay, there you go. That's the answer for part A. All right, part B. After Joseph bought more blue beets, the percentage of blue beets increased to 64%. How many blue beets did he buy? All right, so this is what we call a constant part. So concept. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Okay, so we know that the only thing that's changed is the blue beats. So I will write here blue beats and then the rest. Okay, so we also know that this is before. Okay, so blue beats and the rest is, so we have blue beats 28%, 28, and then the rest is basically 100 minus 28 lah, right? So I'll just put working before this, right? Uh, not blue beats rest is equal to 100 minus 28 is equal to 72, right? Let's put it. So 100 minus 28 equal to 72, right? So 28 is to 72, right? So then after we know that the blue beats become 64. Okay, right, 64. But what about the rest? So after increase, not blue beats is equal to 100 minus 64, which is equal to 36 in this case. So 100 minus 64 is equal to 36. Okay, so 36. So this is after. So we know that this is the before and after. Okay, and then we also know that the rest is constant, didn't change, right? So that means we need to change the rest to be the same. The rest in after to be the same. So let me just make this small and make it a bit smaller like this, right? So that means this will then be equal to, okay, we just times 2 times 2. This will be 36 times 72, right? So for the rest, you see that it didn't change at all. right? But for 64 times 2, right? So 36 times 2 is 72. So 64 times 2, this will be 128. Okay, 128. And that's why it can give us this, what do you call this? This fraction over here, right? So the rest is constant, they change. So we need to change the rest in after to be the same. So let me just make this as well like this, right? So, so before, let me make this medium. The blue bits were 28 units. So after is 128 units. So difference is equal to 128 minus 100. Okay. And this is equal to, no, not 100, sorry. 28 is equal to 100 units, right? So how many blue bits did you buy? So let me just create another line over here. So we know that 28 units is 289. So 28 units is equal to 289. So 100 units, right? He bought is equal to 289 divided by 28 times 100. Okay, 289 divided by 28 and then times 100. Wait, sorry. Let me double check again. Red bits, sorry, 168 is how many blue bits? Sorry. So once it's not 289, 168. Okay, the blue bits, right? So 168 divided by 28 multiplied by 100. Okay, this is 600. Okay, there you go. So that's the answer, 600. Alrighty, that's it for question 16. Let's move on to the last question, question 17. Okay, so the figure is made out of 5 identical quarter circles. That's what you see over here. Okay, so find the radius of the quarter circle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this maybe around here. Okay, so that's what you see over here, right? If I were to just move this, so this whole thing, and this whole thing to one side, and move this over here and this over here, right? Okay, so this 13 cm, oops, will just be here. This 7 cm will just be here. This 13 cm will just be here. And then I move this 8 cm, oops, to one side, 8 cm to another side, and then I'll put this thing and this thing, right? So this 8 cm is pushed to be here like this. All right, so then can we know what's the what do you call this radius, right? So in this case over here, right, basically radius is equal to, right, I'm gonna put the bracket 13 plus 7 plus 13, then we minus 18, 18 right, 8 minus 8. Okay, so sorry, plus. Okay, so let's put the radius bottom. So this will be 33 minus 16, right? So bracket 13 plus 7 plus 13 bracket minus bracket 8 plus 8 bracket. Okay, and the answer to this is 17 centimeters, right? 17 centimeters. There you go, right? Okay, so hopefully you understand this a bit more. That's what you see over here. So to get the radius, you just minus this two lah, right? This two space, because the space are equal, right? Yeah. So that's it. So let me just put a red one so easier for you to know what we want to look for. Question mark. Okay, so let's move on to the part B. Find the parameter of the figure. Take pi 3.14. Round the answer to the nearest one decimal place. Okay, so first is that I think we are covered in terms of the 13 centimeters, 8, 7, 8, 13. So we can just add all of these up. And then at the same time, we also need to get all of these lines, right? So we have one line, and then we have two lines, and then we have three lines, we have four lines, and we have five. So we have five radius. And then lastly, we have the other one, which is this one. And we have the semicircle here as well, right? So this is one, wait, this is one, right? This is two, oh, okay, right? This is three, this is four. How do I make it backwards? Oh, okay, looks like this, four and five. Wait, let me just, okay, right, four, and then we have five. Okay, so in a conclusion, it is basically 5 times radius plus 5 times quarter circle. This should be red. Okay, 5 times quarter circles. Okay, let me just put it on top. So 5 radius plus 5 times quarter circles, and then plus all of this, right? 13 plus 8 plus, so plus yeah, the line, which is this 13, 8, 7, 8, 13. Okay, so let's create the line, calculate the line. So the line is equal to 13 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8 plus 13. Okay, in this case, so let's calculate using our calculator. So 13 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8 plus 13, and this will become 49 centimeters. Okay, so now we also want to get the 5 times radius. So 5 times 5 radius is equal to, so let me just put this a bit higher. So we know the radius is 17, so it's just 5 times 17, which is equal to 85, I think. 17 times 5, 85. Yes, 85 centimeters. And then lastly, we want to get the this thing. So five quarter circle, right? Let me, I don't know whether, okay, I was just, okay, great. Quarter circle is equal to 1 quarter times 2 pi r. So 2 times pi is 3.14. 14 times radius, which is 17. Okay, so in this we will just calculate. So 1 divided by 4 times 2 pi, 3.14 times radius. Radius is 17. Let's double check. 1.4 times 2 times 3.4 times 17, 26.69 centimeters square. So 5 quarter circles, right? So 5 quarter circles, right? Let me put it up here, is equal to 5 times 26.69. Okay, let's see. So multiply by 5, 133.45. Okay, so then the parameter, this whole thing over here. So, right, so I think actually I'll just put here parameter is equal to 5 radius and 5 all this, right? Okay, so parameter is equal to 5 radius, which is 85, plus 5 quarter circles is 133.45, plus the line is 49. Okay, let's calculate. So 133.45 plus 85 plus 49, 267.45 centimeter square. There you go. So that's the answer. 2674.5 centimeters square. Alright, so that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more of this kind of video, subscribe down below and comment down what other things you want me to show you next. See you in the next one. Bye bye.